Concern. You mentioned repeatedly on the show that Latinas need to be strong in numbers. If that is the case, then why do you think there have been numerous Latina business women's organizations lately? Why do you think we don't join together as one instead of breaking off into so many groups? In fact, there is an organization that is so similar to NHBWO that people like myself get confused. Why do you think we are like that? Sarita.
So it sounds like she's talking about the competitiveness between Latinas.
Why not one Latina businesswoman? Why not one organization? Why is there the Latina businesswoman or the basically they all have to do with the same empowerment of business women, Latinas. Why segregate? Why not just join another one? That's the question.
I think it goes back to, in putting it as an analogy to the financial advisor, there are plenty of financial advisors out there. So there's going to be different groups. So what will make it different for membership benefits? So in our case, it's what we give those business seminars that we've been giving since 1997. And now we're launching into being able to provide education on how to get those traditional loans. So these are just some of the ways that we give back. Other organizations will give in other ways. So it's more of, why not be able to give from more organizations, from more resources, if the resources are out there?
Yeah, that's I agree, because there have been issues or concerns or questions like that before, just in general about organizations. And to me, it's like, look at, just like there's, different types of toothpaste, doesn't mean one is better than the other.
Right.
It just means that they have different preferences and different, so the thing is that we want to be able to offer different types of resources to the community, and if it has to be that I see an organization and I think it's great, but its leadership does not necessarily believe in what I think is important, doesn't make them wrong. It just makes it that I'm going to start my own.
Right.
And it doesn't mean that I disrespect them or they're not my girlfriends. It just means that my perspective is a little different, and I want to give that to the community. That's the way I see it.
And definitely, as you ladies mentioned, competition, not competition, but, variety is good. I would say when choosing which organizations to get involved, definitely, do your research, see who it is that they are, make sure that their mission is in alignment with your mission and your business goals, because that's important.
There you go. Okay, next caller, Yvette. Yvette, are you there?
Yes.
Hi, Yvette. How are you?
Good.
Thank you for your call. What's your question?
I'm kind of nervous, but here goes.
Oh, no problem. It's all girlfriend here.
Well, I work at a very non-traditional, male-dominated, very few Latinos are in the business, and how is it that you kind of break the stereotype that the companies have as to what Latinos are? I mean, you'd be amazed at the things that I've been asked.
Like what? Give us an example. I want to hear this.
What was it once? I am not Mexican, by the way. My parents are from South America, so I remember once, I'll never forget this. I mentioned something, I have leftovers for dinner or something, and automatically there was this, was it rice and beans? And I'm like, oh my God, there's so much to learn here. or like I tell them about organizations I belong to, and they say, do you have to speak Spanish only to be a part of it? So it's like there's this cluelessness out there, and I sometimes want to say, well, do I need to educate, or I just need to do my own thing? So it's hard, because the corporate world is not just about Latinos. We have to learn to work with everybody.
I agree.
And so that's where the thing is like, do I educate, or do I just say, yeah, forget it?
No, I personally, I've actually dealt with that many times, and I'm a true believer that people that make those comments are not there to hurt us. Or
I know that. It's just education.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
With all due respect, it's their ignorance of our culture. It's my job to educate them on, and not but in a very respectful way, and say, oh no, you're talking about, that's what Mexicans eat. I'm from South America, and this is what we eat, and basically say, and say, if there's anything more you want to know about us, ask me. I tell people that I said, I will not judge you, because there's many questions that they don't ask because they're scared they're going to offend us. So I said, don't worry, I will not judge you, whatever question you want to ask me, because unless you ask the question, you're never going to know the answer. So if you become more of a resource and an ally to them, then they feel that they'll feel closer to you and bond to you, and you'll be the quote-unquote expert, and that way it's not something contradicting, but it's actually coming together.
And how is it that you work when you work with that type of corporate environment when you're like the only one.
Well, are they receptive? Do they want to learn? Or
Yes, absolutely.
Then if you're, and then you'll become basically, you'll be very popular in a way where if
It
they
just
ask,
seems like there's so much work to do.
yes, there is. There is so much work to do, but I think
But you're
it's
not
our approach.
alone. Know that you're not alone.
Yes.
I know that. I
We're
know
all
that.
in
but
this together
you feel,
to educate and
feel by yourself when you're with. I mean, that's why you go to these organizations like what you two belong to are just amazing, because then you're like, okay, I feel like a part of a group. But when you go back to work, it's like you feel alone.
Exactly, and actually we're going to give you the information right now just so we won't forget on the organization, so that way if you want to contact them, email them, go to their website. Go ahead,
yes,
Brigitte.
the website is www.nationalhbwa.org. Again, that's nationalhbwa.org.
Great.
So go to their website. They have information there. Go to their meetings. They're wonderful women.
And like I said, you don't feel alone, even if you're sitting there in the boardroom. Immediately afterwards, if even if you're not a member, you could call us, you could email us and say, this is what happened, and believe me, you'll get an answer quickly because if it's not me or Diana, one other board member will have that experience, or a similar one, that she'll be able to say, you know what, sister, this is what we can do together. So just know you're not alone, and we welcome you into our national
Into our
Hispanic
arms.
family. Yes,
We embrace you.
we do.
Thank you so much for your call.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye. Okay. Let's see. I know, and there's so much frustration, and I know because I've experienced it, where it's like, that we really do have to start not taking offense. Well, not that anybody does, but I've seen women or people get offended. Like, can you believe they told me that? And I could understand us automatically getting defensive, but we need to remember that we don't teach them, how are they going to know? Exactly. I mean, we don't go out of our way to learn the Korean culture. I know I don't. So I'm ignorant towards a lot of their cultural traits, so I wouldn't want them to get angry at me if I asked a dumb question to them. Oh, I'm sure. Can't believe Yasmin is asking that question. It's like,
She
what?
swears.
She's so, yeah, it's like, so it's like I want to treat others the way I would want to be treated by another culture. Okay. As a Latina, I have always been taught to be humble. Being humble has become my greatest barrier to succeeding in the business world. I feel if I assert my needs, I will come off as disrespectful. How can I overcome this challenge?
It seems like it's a matter of perspective. Instead of seeing humbleness as a weakness, you could see it as being able to gain respect through self-assertiveness and not through aggressiveness. So it's all about how you interpret what the qualities are that you can see either as a weakness and as a strength. And being humble, I see it as being a strength if you bring it and combine it with assertiveness instead of being aggressive and overbearing.
What do you mean by that? And just give us an example. I'm a visual person.
Okay. Let's see. Trying to think of one of our perfect board member, Belinda de la
perfect board member
Libertad.
is humble, huh?
No, I know. Yeah, one of our. I look up to her. I know most of us do, and her name is Belinda de la Libertad. She has her own business, Computer Gal. That's the name of it. And
Computer Gal?
Computer Gal.
Oh, that's cool.
And she is our website guru, and she started her business not too long ago. And it's all about word of mouth for her, and she's been getting business left and right through different referrals. And she is humble in the sense that she went to MIT, but she doesn't say, she doesn't wear it here and say,
yes.
I went to MIT, I'm a graduate from MIT, because that's overbearing.
Yes.
And that could come across as being too aggressive.
Yes.
So in just the way her being, the way she carries herself, I would describe as being humble, and she gains a lot of respect from that because she knows she's very good at what she does, and it's all about what she can produce through her action, not through words.
Yeah, and I don't know her, but I've heard of her, and I heard she has great respect. So in those 15 seconds where you're supposed to meet a person and network, but you're humble, how do you go? You can't really come across. I mean, they can't really sense the energy or the essence of who you are and your humbleness in 15 seconds. So
yes.
How do you balance that?
Well, I think being humbleness is more of a sense of I'm here to serve you. I'm not greater or above you, but I'm also very intelligent. I also have something to offer, so you have to learn to differentiate that, and some people do see, okay, I'm going to be humble. I'm not going to voice my opinion or my voice, but just because you're humble, you should voice what you have to say, because we're all intelligent and you know, we have good things to say.
No, it's true. And one thing that a skill that I see has worked for me is that I always put my weaknesses out there first. And it's all about feeling safe for people. You have to provide a safe environment. And once to me, it's just who I am. That's my work. And I put my tragedies out there, what I've been through, what I've survived. And it makes women and people feel safe where they can tell me and ask me anything. And they know that they won't be judged because God knows I've been through so much that who am I? So I don't judge people. So it becomes, and sometimes it's providing a safe environment for people where you could then talk about your strengths when you can talk about your weaknesses. It's when you gloat about yourself only that people have an issue. But when you say, you know what, I'm horrible at this. Like, you know what, I have horrible handwriting. It is so ugly. But I have so many cute other things. You know what I mean? It's like, then it's okay. But if you just say, well, I have so many cute things, then it's an issue.
It's a balance.
It's a balance. And if you just say I have ugly handwriting and no cute things, then you have a self-esteem issue. You know what I mean? So it becomes really being able to be real and knowing that there's strengths and that there's weaknesses and being able to relay those to people and be okay with it, because then it makes people be okay with it, their own, themselves.
Exactly.
Well, that's great.
So I hope that helped you with the, because like you said, you know, I'm not, you said I'm more of a visual person, so that's a strength that you have.
Yes.
And I hope that answers
yes,
the question.
absolutely.
Okay, great.
Ladies, we're out of time. Thank you so much for
that
being
was it?
here. That was it. I appreciate it, and I'm sure I'll have you back on.
Great. Thank you,
you.
Yasmin.
Thank you
Had
so
a great
much.
time.
I'll
Thank
see you next week. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.